Welcome to the Main Dish with MD. I'm your host, Marlon Davis. And if this is your first episode of the show, our goal is to inspire, connect, and entertain. We have three amazing guests on the show today. But before we get started, go ahead and click on that subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Go ahead and click on that for me. I appreciate you. You guys remember the good old days? Drinking from the water hose, Saturday morning cartoons, spending hours trying to find that one video in Blockbuster. Okay, maybe not that far back. But what about buying a new suit or even getting fitted for your wedding? What about attending a corporate event or a gala? Or what about even strolling into the local ice cream shop for a triple scoop of your favorite ice cream on a Saturday afternoon? I have three guests here today to talk about the current climate of what's going on in their industry. First, I have the CEO and founder of Red Velvet Events, Cindy Lowe. She is also the author of the book Behind the Red Velvet Curtain. Welcome, Cindy.
Thank you, Marlon. I hear apparently we're all Longhorns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next, I have the president and CEO of NadaMoo, Daniel Nicholson. NadaMoo has been named to the Austin and Central Texas Fast 50 Awards for several years. Welcome, Daniel.
Thanks so much for having me, Marlon. I appreciate it.
Next, I have Richard Soto. He is the founder of Soto and Co. Welcome, Richard.
Thank you, sir.
So formal, so formal. Actually, we're going to call you Ricky, so don't worry about that. But before we get started, we're going to break off into our segment called WTD, What the Dish. All right, guys, I'm going to list off some ingredients. Once you know the answer to what the dish is, go ahead and put those up. All right, let's get started. The first ingredient, 2.5 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, 1.5 cups of sugar, 1.5 cups of canola oil, 2 large eggs, 1/4 cup of red food coloring, 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, 1 cup of buttermilk, 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, and 2 teaspoons of white vinegar, and go.
Oh my God.
Should I show it?
Yeah.
Or should I wait for them?
Yeah, no, go. If you know, go. You're like, who's cheating? Red velvet brownies, red velvet cake, Ricky.
Nice.
What did you write? You wrote question mark.
Oh, well, you know what? The answer is an old-fashioned red velvet cake.
Really?
And that's, well, hey, don't you, Cindy, it came out of your book.
That's awesome.
See, this is again the fact that I don't cook. I do really good curbside, guys, and I know how to order from a menu very well.
Oh, and you have something amazing that I love too. We'll talk about that later. But hey, this is an amazing book. And again, it features information on what wines you can pair with meals, as well as how to set a dinner table if you're new at that. Some great information. I love it. It's right in the kitchen, so I use it pretty frequently. So again, Out Cook, Out Eat, Out Drink by Red Velvet Events. Thank you, guys. All right, Cindy.
Yeah. Oh.
Let's start with you.
On the hot seat.
Yeah, you're not on the hot seat. You're not on the hot seat. You know, earlier I talked about kind of the good old days, and those are not too distant. Tell us a little bit about Red Velvet Events, how you got started, who inspired you.
So what's funny is that during this whole pandemic, it kind of reminded me of when I started Red Velvet, because I actually started the company right after 9/11. So a little quick history is that I was in high tech before I started in the events and hospitality world. And 9/11 happened, and I happened to be on a project assignment in New Jersey, right outside New York City. So I was in the vicinity when the towers went down, and I was stuck there until Friday when planes were allowed to fly again. And during that time, I was able to reflect, on what was happening. And I just rethought about, if this is the time for me to pivot and maybe switch careers, I should do it now. And it was not because I was unhappy at my previous job. It was because so much had changed, and being that close to New York City when it happened, it makes you kind of wake up, because I did live in Austin. I just was flying back and forth. It was a gig that I was flying Monday through Thursday. So doing that and just kind of living your life, and, and single at the time, I was like, okay, this is all good. Yeah. But what's funny, the quick side story is that I was trying to apply for jobs, but I kept getting rejected because, just like right now, we were in a recession, and I didn't understand how badly 9/11 had affected the hospitality industry. So without any formal experience, no one wanted to hire me, like not even touch me. I was like, I'll work for free for 6 months to prove to you that I am a fast learner. They would not touch me. So because I went to UT for business school, I was like, okay, if I do this for 1 year, get the experience, and reapply for these jobs, they've got to hire me. Well, that was 18 years ago. So now I've got this company, I've got the team, I've got a building, I got a jackalope, man. I got to kind of have to keep, riding the bicycle and do it.
Now, do you look at those people, those companies, and say, ha ha, sucker, I told you. Cindy Lowe, baby, red velvet, worldwide.
So what's funny is, again, my intention originally was to work for them. One of them I did see about a decade later, and I don't think he remembered. And I said, I don't know if you remember meeting me at a restaurant in Houston. And I said, you told me that I should run as fast as I could and not join the industry, because I had a future in staying in high tech. And he was like, don't join this. This is going to be a lot of work. And I was like, but I'm okay. I want to do it. And I told him the story, and he goes, wow, I really don't remember that. And I go, but you were one of the influencers that caused me to start my own company. So
wow. Yes. And look at Cindy now. You're awesome. And those people that missed out on you back in the day are kicking themselves right now. Daniel, tell us how you got started. Tell us about that strawberry cheesecake. That's my favorite.
Awesome.
It's my favorite. Tell us how you got started. Tell us who inspired you, and tell us a little bit about NadaMoo.
Yeah, perfect. So I mean, very similar to Cindy's story. I got started with the company in 2008, right around the time of the last financial crisis. I had just moved back from Madrid, Spain, where I worked for a wind power utility. I started my career in renewable energy straight out of the University of Texas with a degree in mechanical engineering. But what I had decided after time in Madrid was that I didn't want to be an engineer. Like I did not want to, or did not see a path forward in the engineering professional space. And so as I was networking with people here in Austin, was actually introduced to the founder of NadaMoo, who started the business in 2005. I tried the product for the first time, and it was just incredible. Like, just absolutely blew my mind. Could not believe that ice cream was being made without dairy that tasted so good at this moment in 2008. And really for me, the inspiration was to continue on this kind of renewable, sustainable energy journey that I had already started on, but by way of the consumer product space. We have a massive opportunity here in our country and as humans to make decisions around what we eat every day. And what we eat every day has a direct impact on our footprint on the world that we live in and our footprint on the environment. And so when you can have fun making and selling ice cream for a living and doing good for a more sustainable planet and sustainable worlds, with healthier people, healthier, more vibrant people consuming better products. For me, it became a very quick no-brainer, and I decided that I wanted to jump in on the ground floor of a very small company to see if I could directly impact its growth and create some scalability in their business and within their operation.
Well, you've definitely done that. Was it 2 weeks ago? I saw you posted something about some award or some success of being the top. You know what I'm talking about.
We are by far the fastest growing frozen dessert brand in the country right now, which is awesome. You know, that's fun, that's exciting. And so while I can stop and be very proud of what we've accomplished year to date, and you know, not just me, it's mostly the incredible team that I get to work with every day that really powers us forward. But the hard work continues, and we're not ready to stop here.
Well, again, congratulations on that. I will tell America how dedicated you are. You left a multi-championship kickball team to put all of your focus on your business. Now, we were back-to-back champions, myself.
Back to back.
Yes.
And stop saying
it. And Ricky, so, you know, you really are focused on your business, and it shows with these accolades that you just mentioned. And that brings up Ricky. Ricky, this guy did my suit for my wedding.
You did mine too.
I looked super fly in Puerto Vallarta with my suit on, and he does an amazing job. He suits up some of the NFL players. He may talk about that, or I may prompt him to talk about that. But Ricky, tell us how you got started. Tell us, you have a very unique business when it comes to suit design. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I guess starting off with like the whole inspiration part of it, I would say that I've always had a very entrepreneurial spirit, and I get that from my folks. Growing up, they've always had, you know, hustles here as far as like selling jewelry or, you know, opening up a restaurant or stuff like that. So I kind of adopted that mindset. And growing up, I would sell pencils or honey buns from a bakery and just, you know, anything to try to generate a little bit of revenue. So I knew going into college that I always...
Hold on. So you're the hustle man?
Yes, I was. So hold up. My dad had a discount bakery when I was in high school. And the honey buns would not go bad the day after the expiration date, but he had to get rid of them. So I would take them to school and start selling them to everybody.
So Ricky has a backpack full of honey buns. Comes to test time.
Donuts,
honey buns. Need a pencil.
Yeah, so like, maybe this is what I need to do. So fast forwarding, you know, going through college after college, I did advertising, and I worked with a guy who knew a guy through who did some suits. So when I started my necktie collection as a side hustle while I was doing pharmaceutical sales at the time, we started, you know, co-promoting each other's brands. I would get a, you know, good book of business down here. And then after a while, you know, I started doing the math and realized that commission's good, but at the same time, there's a larger piece of the pie that's out there. So I decided to venture out and test my own tailors, find the product that I thought would be, you know, the best to represent what I wanted to do, and kind of move forward with that. You talking about like things happen for a reason. My pharmaceutical job that I was with for 5 years, the drug lost its patent, so we had to do massive layoffs. And this was the first time in 5 years that we had the opportunity to volunteer to be laid off. So I always told myself I can go back to sales if I needed to. So I decided to volunteer the layoff. I took the severance, bought the truck. My dad and I remodeled it ourselves, and then just kind of went all in with the suit company. And I think just, you know, the perfect, you know, snowball effects kind of led into, you know, the domain and some recognition with, you know, GQ and working with some professional athletes. And then from there, it just kind of rolled. And, you know, now we're, you know, still here and still doing well.
Cindy, I don't know if you noticed, Daniel, either how Ricky just threw in his exclusive in GQ. Was it December 2016?
Hey, you told me to bring it up.
No,
I did.
I mean, that was a good look on GQ, man. Like, I mean, that was a good spot. Yeah, kind of big time, man. I mean, I still haven't made it in on any ice cream magazines or anything yet. So.
Cindy, what were you saying? You have more desire?
I definitely have a much stronger desire to get my husband one of these suits now. See? So you're doing a good job, Ricky.
So, Ricky, are you able to tell some of the NFL players that you suit up? I mean, you see them on ESPN wearing the little truck. It's a little small truck that they have on. Where's my lapel? They got
That's the
truck
secret.
Yeah.
They wear, and I know one of them is big time now, just signed a deal with Big O. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about.
So it's cool because it started out with Jalen Ramsey and having the opportunity to work with him. He did a little spread on GQ too where he mentioned my name, and through that it kind of snowballed effect. Knowing, having the resources to put me in contact with these people have been very helpful as well. But I've also worked with, Earl Thomas, UT alum, Emmanuel Acho, Jordan Hicks, Derwin James, Deshaun Watson. It's just a cool opportunity that I can just, meet these players that you see on Sundays or Saturdays and, kind of get them suited up.
Not kind of get them suited up.
You get them suited up, right?
Ricky, you are suiting them up, brother. You are suiting them up.
Right, I'm doing my best. Yeah, but it's
trying to do
cool.
Hey, I'm promoting you. You're doing your darn thing. That's why we have you on the show.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Speaking of accolades, Cindy Lowe, beating out Disney for one of your esteemed awards. You mentioned it to me. Tell us about that award and what it meant to you receiving it.
So we've applied, in our now 18-year history, we've applied for a lot of awards, but that specific one that I mentioned to you was my very first award that I actually ever won in the industry. And I want to say it was about 6 years in. So it was a big deal because it basically signified to me that we had made it in the industry. So because we had applied for others before, got maybe to the finalists, but never took home anything. And in that year we beat Disney, and I was like, oh my gosh. And it was for an event in Austin that now what's funny is looking back, it would not be as big of a deal. But back then, that event was the first time ever that I know our rental partner had ever done that kind of tent, apparently. And they didn't tell me that either, okay? They made me think that
of course they didn't. Of course they were trying to get some work.
And then it was the first time the caterer had ever done it this way. And so looking back, I was like, wow, we were kind of, setting out on a new horizon. But I look back now, and it's funny to me to see how much has changed over the years of what, events look like and how far we've come. And so to me, it was just, it's very humbling still. Every time we take home an award, I'm very humbled. And we have a wall in the office because I try to remind the team that, hey, this is what we do. Is that we should be proud of all the accomplishments because the team really now is the one that's winning all the awards.
Yeah. It's important to celebrate those successes and then go back to work, as Daniel mentioned earlier. What are you guys doing to keep your customers safe during this time? Have you guys implemented any new strategies or any new protocols?
Yeah, I'll take that first. The short answer is yes. We absolutely have. As COVID-19 became a very obvious reality to us in March, it was too risky to continue to allow consumers to come into our shop as we were still wrapping our mind around what all of this meant for us. And so we decided to close our doors for about 4 days as we prepared a pickup and delivery plan that would allow us to continue to operate. So we closed a total of 4 days. And by that Friday, we were back up and running with an entirely new business model that we felt good about because it ensured that no consumers were coming into direct contact with our staff. But we could continue to serve the customer in a world where they still need their feel-good products, right? In hard times or in good times, people need that indulgence. They need that experience to help them to help them escape the reality of the situation. And so we wanted to make sure that we remained open. And so, yeah, we had to rework our entire business model at the shop to ensure that we could create continuity and allow the customer to still be able to come and eat their dairy-free ice cream.
Well, I'll say you guys have done an amazing job. On the weekend, I think it was, we've been over there, and the trick is that you order something for the car ride, and then you order something for the house. So it's
nice.
Like to go for now, and then I have my for later. So I don't know if that's working out. Usually if we come into the scoop shop, it's just for now, but we triple dipped. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's smart. I mean, we might have to roll out a whole new scoop shop marketing campaign that teaches them how to buy smarter.
Call it the double dip.
The double dip.
One for the car and one for the house. Hey,
I love it. I
want 2% off that. Call it the NadaMoo double dip.
No, he's going to expect a commission check, okay?
Residual.
One for the car, one for the house. The NadaMoo double dip.
I love that, dude. That's amazing.
Y'all laughing. He's going to be like, hey.
Yeah,
it's going to show up next week.
Yeah, no, seriously. Like
that blows my scoops and suits idea right out the water.
Scoops and suits? Hey.
Suits and scoops. We've been talking about peddling ice cream off of Ricky's suit truck too.
Do it. Cindy, it's probably a total flip from you from, hey, touch to.
Imagine.
So piggybacking off of Daniel, what's interesting is that I could feel it coming because we were watching other global events that we were either part of, or maybe I had friends that were part of in other countries. I mean, it was painful. So March 6th is a D-Day in our head, because March 6th is the day that the city of Austin declared that South by Southwest was not going to happen. And that is a huge bulk of our business for March. And to kind of relive March is that I think February 28th was our first cancellation. So those technically, there were big corporate giants that were already going to cancel no matter what city of Austin decided. And literally it was like a domino. Every day we had a cancellation. And so that was when it's all started. And it did not stop until probably, I want to say, Memorial Day weekend. We just kept having to deal with cancellation after cancellation. And during that time, while we had one set of team members focusing on how to either, refund the money back, get all the charges finalized, I was looking at it and I said, I need a set of team members to learn virtual, because we didn't know virtual. We really didn't. We always pitched it, but clients never really bought it because it was another cost. And why would they do that when they're already spending this much money in a physical activation, Mm-hmm. So while we were learning all that, it was hard, to be honest. And I would say right now, because it's been 7 months of it, I think we finally are at a point where we are more comfortable with it. Now, are we experts? No, but we are definitely way more comfortable than when our first virtual was in May. It was so many things that we made mistakes on, but honestly, the only way to learn it is to get your hands dirty and just jump right in and do it. So unfortunately, when these virus spiked in Texas, even though we were reopened in May, and certain events were allowed to happen, but when the virus spiked, basically all of the remaining events we had on the books for fall canceled, or they moved to virtual. So that happened in June. And so I just felt like my heart just sank, and I was like, I've never had this happen to us, and what do we do? And so of course we kept trying to sell virtual, and which has worked, but it's a very different mindset, and some of the clients aren't ready to buy virtual in the same way they used to buy live events. So it's been a roller coaster ride trying to figure out how to budget and forecast, and at the same time keep our team safe too from COVID. And so it's all of that, and I feel like I am rebuilding a new business almost every 30 to 45 days because of that. So it's been a very big learning curve.
Well, Cindy, if I was a betting man, I'd put my money on you, because you're awesome. I don't know if this is my day job or my weekend. I don't know what I call the main dish with MD. It's my fun job, but I definitely know about those cancellations and all that stuff when you're, you go to work trying to bring money to your job.
Yeah.
Starting in March, it was like, pew, 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 stop losing money, deflect, stop, cancel. Yeah. So I definitely understand that. Ricky Soto, what's going on with you, man? You first of all, you have this new gadget that I'm excited to hear about that's really keeping people safe, but weddings and all those things. Tell us about your business right now.
Yeah, so when everything first shut down, it was a challenge for my current clients because everybody had their wedding dates planned for March, April. So you started seeing, as far as cancellations, though, I'm having to change to all the way to 2021. So from that point on, when they first shut down everything, even it was obviously slow. Students isn't that much of a necessity, but once they released the restrictions a little bit, then it started coming back because then everybody is rescheduling their weddings for December, January, and then March and so on of next year. So it was like, well, what do we have to do? So we're open. But the good thing about the truck is it being so small that I'm able to maintain and limit the amount of people that come in. I can disinfect it without any problems as long as everybody wears a mask and stuff like that. And as far as the technology, what has helped with that is now we can go full contactless if we want to. We have 2 different scanning devices that we can use. One inside the truck that you can come in and literally takes 200 measurements in 45 seconds, which is super, super crazy to think about how fast it is. But the craziest thing is how accurate it is, which is it's amazing. It definitely cuts down on not only the overall appointment, but definitely on people being nervous about catching anything. The other thing.
Let me ask you this: does that machine have a pre and post quarantine 15 on there?
That's a big question. It's a big question.
That extra 15 that they putting on right now with the extra
I'm gonna require them to get 2 scans when they first come in and when they pick up their suit. So when they say it's too tight, I'm gonna say it's not my fault.
Yeah. You didn't take care of business.
Yeah. So that's been cool. And then outside of people, there are obviously people who are still scared to come in. So we now invested in another scanning device where we can take your measurements with just 2 photos. So we can send them a link. They click on the link, take 2 photos, and we can scan all the accurate measures that way. Now that also opens me up to other cities and states around the country that necessarily want a suit from me. So it's been pretty good.
Yeah, the truck is amazing, guys. Go ahead. I mean, I think when I went in for my suit, I was probably an anomaly because I spent, Rick, how long was I in there? Like 4 hours?
Gosh. I didn't know that many creams had so many different color variations.
Oh, man, he has so many options. I'm like, Ricky, but look, what about this one? Yeah, we went back and forth.
I learned from that experience, and now I use it all the time. I say, well, put it on your complexion.
Yes.
See how it looks.
Yes. There you go. It's a great thing. But check out the mobile truck. I would go now, but I got this quarantine 15 on me. So have to give me a suit when I get out of this, but it's a great place to go. Now, Ricky, why would someone choose Soto and Co? What makes you guys special? What is it about your company? I know, but tell the people what makes you special.
I think at the end of the day, it's just the service. The product is top notch. You're going to get, as far as craftsmanship from the beginning to the end, it's going to be one of the best suits that you ever had made, for sure. But I think what separates me from a lot of other, great suit makers is just the experience altogether. I know, especially for men, a lot of the times this type of shopping experience can not be fun. So, you come on in, I break down the entire process for you, let you know why you're getting what you're wanting, why are we putting you in this, but then also giving you what you want with regard to your style. And I think that's the most important thing to me is just finding something that's going to complement your style, but then also your frame, because you want something that's going to last you a long time. With that and our laid back vibe, it's just, it keeps people coming back, and through that and word of mouth, it's been, a huge success with helping me, continue to grow. So.
Daniel, NadaMoo. What makes you guys special? Why are we coming into the ice cream shop to get the, what did I call it? The double scoop for the house and for the car and
the
for the
double
house.
dip. The double dip.
Yes,
Yeah.
double dip.
Yeah, I mean, to some of the points that Ricky made, I really think it's about our people. It's about our people and our commitment to our customers to do what is right by them before they even know what they really need or what they want. We take a lot of pride in the quality of the raw materials that go into the ingredient. We use organic supply chain. You know, we have more certifications. We used to say we have more badges than a Boy Scout. We have it all. I mean,
y'all stopped saying that, huh?
Yeah, we stopped saying that. But we have, we're organic certified, non-GMO verified. We use a lot of fair trade ingredients. And all that to say, like, we are committed to these quality ingredients, because when you put quality ingredients into a food product, the result is better than all of what else is out there. And you know, we do a really good job of balancing, in the dessert category, things like sugar. Sugar is a huge problem point for a lot of people. We accomplish a really indulgent ice cream experience without all the sugar, without all the calories, with zero cholesterol. It's a very holistic approach to filling that need in people's lives. People are not going to stop eating ice cream. They're just not. The moment they do, world peace and the pursuit of happiness ends. And so as long as that is true, we want to put our best foot forward, putting a quality product out there that we would put in our own bodies, we would put in our own families' bodies, and really we want to continue to build on that trust and that loyalty with our customer by continuing to do what's right by everybody.
Well, it is a quality product. Like I said, that strawberry cheesecake, that's my favorite. Cindy, talk to me. Tell me why. I know why you should do red velvet, but
why?
There's just a level of service that you guys have that can be truly appreciated, and the connection that you make with your customer. But let me stop. Let you tell the people why, and I'll tell another reason why that you're awesome. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, I don't want to sound like I'm repeating just what Ricky and Daniel said, but it is our team. And it's the fact that not only are they so creative, but someone said it today in an internal meeting, is that they care so much about our clients and how successful their program is. So in this case right now, it's the virtual, but how successful it will look for them and how the attendees will feel. So it's all of that mixed together. And normally, I know when people come to us, they're just seeking just either logistics or getting it done. I always call it GSD, get shit done. And I hope that's okay.
Like that.
On your show.
I like that.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I forgot to say no cursing, but
hey,
it is okay.
You can bleep me out. How about that?
Okay.
This is rated G. This is
above an 18. Subscribe now.
Well, I mean, it's still. I think if you only have one curse word, it's still
okay.
Right. Yeah, so we're good.
Sorry, I should have just said GSD. Okay. So, anyways, but it's our culture. And I think that's why the clients tend to bond with us well, because they know when they do call us, when they do reach out to us, we're going to strategize first about what is their problem that we're trying to solve through an event, now virtual. Hopefully we will get back to live very soon because we miss it. And honestly, that is our sweet spot. We love the activations. We love all of the things. Like I know the first time I had an NadaMoo, I remember actually where it was because it was at an activation where y'all were a sponsor of an event. See, that shows you how impactful an event, if it's well done, can do. And so we want to get back there as soon as possible. So I think that's what makes us unique and why people like working with us.
Tell us what advice you would give to somebody that's aspiring to be in your industry, and also tell us how someone would reach you if they want to get a suit, if they want to learn more about Red Velvet or want to learn more about NadaMoo. Daniel, tell us what you would give to somebody that's inspiring to be in your industry.
Yeah, It's tough. Yeah. The food business, I will say, and it's not, it's not the initial inspiration you think of, but the first thing I always say is this is a really tough business. This is a very, very difficult business. But it can be extremely rewarding. I mean, the food business has always been about passionate people, whether it's in the restaurant format or in supporting and supplying grocery stores all across the country or the world. Like, the food business is driven by passion. And so if you really want to be in the food business, in the ice cream business specifically, and if you're really passionate about it, I think there are immense opportunities for you to bring value. It becomes so rewarding when you get to share your product with somebody and create, that strong brand affinity with somebody where you are impacting their life in a very personal way. They're bringing your product into their house. They're sharing it with their family. They're consuming it after a meal with their family. Like, it's a very personal experience. And if you feel that strongly about any food product that you really love or that you want to put out there in the market, you have to understand that personal connection, that the fact that people are still the most important piece of business. If we care about people, if we are passionate about our work, the sky's the limit, and I know that for a fact because I've done it. I'm not a genius. I'm not a rocket scientist.
Not a rocket scientist for sure.
Definitely not.
Daniel, tell us. Give us your website. Give us your store, scoop shop location, and how people can reach out to you if they have any questions.
Yeah, so our website, best place to find us, www.NadaMoo.com. Through there, you can navigate to our scoop shop page, find out the location, but we are located in Austin, Texas, at 1701 South Lamar Boulevard, just about a mile and a half south of the Whole Foods flagship store on Lamar. And yeah, we'd love to serve you. If you'd like to reach out to me directly, I make myself very available to whoever's interested in this industry, interested in the story. You can email me at daniel@NadaMoo.com. You can find me on Instagram at NadaMooDan, and would be happy to hear from you and really help in any way possible.
Awesome. Cindy, tell anybody that's aspiring to be in the events industry, tell them to hold off. Tell them to hold off for a couple of weeks. We don't need any other competition in the market.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But tell us.
Right now it's a little tough, I admit, in the sense because there are more people looking for jobs than there are openings. But if you truly are passionate about this, don't hesitate to apply for an entry-level job to kind of get your feet wet and work your way up, because we can see and we can feel the passion for those that have been in it, long enough. And so, similar to what Daniel said, it is a lot of hard work, but I have to say, I love this industry. I mean, yes, my back might be hurting, or maybe I'm upset because a client maybe yelled at me or yelled at the team, but because they weren't happy with something. But it is just so rewarding, and there's always no 2 days are alike, and that's what I love about it. So I did, not to plug my book, but the book does talk about also how you can pivot into the industry. Not that book, the other book. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the other book. You want me to show this book?
Yeah. No. Oh, do you? Oh, you do have that? Yes, that one.
Oh.
That's awesome.
I remember when I taught you, you're like, you haven't read my book. Tell me something from it. I was like,
I did. Actually, I do remember that. That was at the law.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. I told you I don't have to lie, Craig, to kick it. Tell you I got your book. I got your book.
But
check it out. It's awesome.
It's on Amazon too, and actually Amazon controls the prices. Even though I tell them what to charge, they have a configurator where they know they can charge it for a little bit less and sell more, but I still get the same amount of money. Isn't that weird? So they're smart.
The same amount of money. Hey.
Yeah. But I was going to mention is that right now I do know a lot of the nonprofits are hurting because they need help, but yet maybe they don't have necessarily the volunteers. So if you do have the bandwidth, you can start that way too, to get into the industry. But definitely it's a little bit harder in the hotels, the restaurants, the venues, because a lot of them have not been allowed to reopen, to be honest. And that's why they're hurting so much right now. As far as getting in touch with me, you can definitely go to our website, www.redvelvetevents.com. All of our handles are the same. So Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, they're all Red Velvet Events. And my personal one on Instagram is Cindy Wears Red. I know I'm not wearing red today.
You got on some red shoes. We just can't see them.
Yes, thank you. And then second is...
I got you.
Second is I want to plug my dog because I'm trying to make him. So if all else fails, guys,
we only got 3 guests on the show. Go ahead. Hey, that's what we're here.
My dog is going to help me hopefully rescue me out of this. It's Darwin, the Texas Frenchie, TX. And I'm going to, Ricky, if you don't mind, I'm going to call you. I'm going to email you to ask what a custom suit quote is because you'll see he's very stylish. Like,
perfect.
Yeah.
Well, Ricky has a dog too. He dresses him up. So
look good. Yeah, so you make dog outfits. Oh, that's fantastic. Because
yes.
No, I'm not. I am not kidding. I mean, I literally just gave away all of his nice like newborn outfits because he's a Frenchie, so he's sturdy, and he's
compact.
Good, yes, compact, and so now he has a new size, so I have to get him all new winter clothes because none of the stuff fit from last year since he was a puppy.
That's awesome.
No, I'm not joking. Yeah, y'all check him out. He even has his own car and he has his own scooter. He does He does so much for me.
Well, I guess business ain't that bad at that level. If he got his own scooter and car, I'm just saying.
No, this is where I put all my energy in as things are going downhill. I'm putting all my energy into the dog.
Like here. So, something has to bring me joy every day.
Yes.
Hey, you guys reach out to Cindy. She means it. I actually had the pleasure of introducing somebody that works for Cindy. She was like, we were at a networking event. And Marlon, oh my gosh, there's Cindy Lowe. And I was like, Cindy? She's like, oh my gosh, it's Cindy. I was like, you want to meet her? She's like, shh, don't. I'm so embarrassed to meet her. And I was like, Cindy is amazing. Come on, made the introduction. Now she works with Cindy. So she is very open to talking to you if you have questions about the industry. If you want to connect with her and do a virtual event, she's open to that too.
Of course, anything.
Yes, anything. Soto, tell us how people contact you if they want to get that suit, if they want to learn more about the industry.
Yeah, really easy. It's website is Soto and Co. It's ANDCO.com. Instagram's the same thing. Facebook's the same thing. So across the board, it's just Soto and Co. You can email me at rsoto@sotoandco too and ask me any questions.
Yeah, these are great people to reach out to. Thank you guys. We're going to get into the little fun portion of the program, and I appreciate you guys doing that. But let's get started into that. Ricky, I'm gonna start out with you. Give me your top queso, your top 2 favorite quesos, or your top favorite queso.
So funny thing is, I love queso, but I don't like cheese. So it makes no sense.
Wow.
But yeah, you put cheese on a sandwich or a burger, I'm throwing a fit. But if you bring if you melt it and throw some chips on it, then I'm a happy camper. But I would have to say, my 2 is probably Kirby and Torchy's. It's probably really generic, but hey, they're the best for me.
Yeah, awesome. Cindy, well, I know your company, was it last summer or 2 summers ago, had a queso off where people brought.
Yes, we had a case off.
Yeah, people brought queso into the office. I'll check you out.
Yeah.
Give me your top 2 favorite quesos. You can agree with your team, or you can do a Cindyism and go out on your own.
Well, just like Ricky, Kirby too, but I also like Moudy's.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Moudy's. I don't think I've had their queso.
It's not as commonly known. I'm telling you, go try it. It doesn't taste the same. It doesn't taste like Kirby or Torchy's or any of those. It's very different. In fact, I've been trying to deconstruct it to figure out what the secret ingredient is because it tastes a little different.
Is that, yeah? You know what? I need to get Mouties like 3 times this week to see what it tastes like so I can figure out the recipe. Right. Daniel, what about
Don't
you?
judge.
I'm not. I want to invite to the house so I can get some too. Daniel, top 2 favorite quesos.
I mean, I think Kirby's an easy one. It's just an Austin classic. On another recommendation, it's actually a friend's company, local company called Credo Foods. They're doing a lot of food service. They're selling their queso to Huetos Taco Bar down on South Congress. You can also buy their product at Whole Foods Market. It's called Credo Foods, CREDO. And it's all plant-based queso. It's a plant-based version of the queso that all of us here in Austin enjoy so much. I'd highly recommend it.
We'll have to put that on the list. I love me some queso. All right, next question. Give us your hidden gem or your favorite Austin restaurant. Ricky.
So as far as the hidden gem, I think that it was definitely a product that everybody knows, and everybody's enjoyed it for years. But this might be the gem, and it's NadaMoo Scoop Shop.
Oh,
At the gym to go to.
Oh, look at that! Look at that!
Look at that plug.
he is trying to get that suit and scoop worked out. He's doing the double dip first, Ricky, for the car and for the house. The double dip. Daniel, what's your hidden gem Austin restaurant?
So I'm gonna stick with the plant-based theme because that's a space that I that we as a company occupy. I'm not 100% vegan, but I'm very, very close in my lifestyle. For all of the Mexican food lovers, I know this is Austin and everybody loves eating their tacos at all these different places. There is a food truck on East 11th Street, pretty close to where Nickel City is for all the bar goers. And it's called Nisi Veg-Mex. And I can almost guarantee, I mean, plant-based or not, the food coming off of that truck rivals the Mexican food of any restaurant any Mexican food restaurant establishment here in Austin. Big, go check that out. Definitely a hidden gem because not a lot of people outside of the plant-based movement know about it. But it is, I mean, I'm from Laredo, Texas. I know Mexican food. And the flautas, the enchiladas, the tacos that are coming off of that food truck are incredible, and it's all plant-based. So a lot easier on the body than the real stuff.
Nisi's on East 11th.
East 11th.
Okay, we'll have to check that out. Cindy, what's your hidden gem Austin restaurant?
So I don't know if it's a hidden gem necessarily, but as I said, I love Pluckers. So if you've never had their dry rub wings, I mean, because I'm not the super hot wings, but it's the dry rub spicy ranch, and I literally crave it once a week. And honestly, during the pandemic, I think I ordered it twice a week because I missed it that much. And so
you got to get those comfort foods in, right?
yes.
I love Pluckers. They've done a great job with their whole entire restaurant concept. Mark and Sean, they're great guys. I've actually spoken to their staff a couple of times, their managers. So and I love their wings as well. The Baker's Gold, that's my favorite. I got my
Yes, that's my husband's favorite.
Yes. I got my Pluckers card, my Pluckers membership. They are awesome. Well, guys, I want to thank you again for coming out. Please remember to support, promote, and encourage your friends. And also, it's more fun when the homies have some.